Hey, what's up? What's going on? This is Dawnna St. Louis, and I am back in town. I haven't seen my house in so long that I swear that my dog thought I was a stranger. It's been a little bit, but I am glad to be back home, refreshed, and just about ready to get on the road again. So today's message is brought to you by one of my clients who I love dearly and gave me permission, actually suggested that I share this with everyone today. So I am taking the opportunity to share this without actually exposing any names or companies, but one of my favorite clients actually suggested strongly that I share this one today. So hey Michael, how are you doing, sweetie? It's good to see you here. So I want you to imagine that you have this great big idea, and usually a big idea, they always say necessity is the mother of invention. So a lot of times our big ideas come from, something that happened, something that we needed to do, something that we needed to make better. And so we go through the whole process, right? We have this frustration that we need to fix, right? And we get that frustration, and then we're afraid if we don't fix that frustration, that crap will get real. And so we figure out, then we start looking at the other side of it is, oh, if I fix this, all the great things that are going to happen. And then we go and either create the solution or find the solution. But at the end of the day, we come up with this amazing idea. And have you ever had that amazing, just over the top superstar idea? And you're like, this is it. This is going to change everything. And then you go out there and you start sharing with people and they're like, wah, wah. Like it doesn't go over so well. Sometimes they might even be a little antagonistic towards you. That's happened. That actually happened to again, a very good friend and client yesterday. They had this fantastic idea and they went and they delivered it to their team, and their team did not buy in with the enthusiasm that they were expecting them to. Well, this is a common thing that happens. And let's talk about, first of all, some of the people that you'll find around you. So when you have a great idea, you're going to have the person, there are a few types of people. The one person you're going to have is what I like to call them is the sniper. They are going to ask you 850 million questions in regards to the idea and the process of that idea and how that idea works. And they are going to shoot down your idea. They're going to poke holes in it everywhere, every way possible. Now, I know our first goal is to take this person out and go ahead and shoot them before they could do that. However, the sniper may actually be your friend. We'll talk about how to use them in a second. The other person that you have is the person who's going to be, yeah, everything is a great idea. They think every idea you come up with is the best idea. And again, they might be great people, but they might not necessarily be the person that you always have to take all your advice to, all your ideas to, because they're not going to give you any real criticism or feedback or anything in regards to your idea. They're just a yes man. So you don't necessarily want to have one of those people always on your idea. You want to have them early enough along to make sure, oh yes, I'll tell everyone, make sure you share this with everyone so they can learn more. Thank you, Michael. So you have this person that's a yes person, and that's the person you want to share your idea with too initially. It'll give you a little bit of enthusiasm, but then after that, you got to get to the next person. Now, the next person that you want to share your idea with is the person who's going to tell you how to strengthen the idea. They're going to put a few holes in it, and they're going to ask you some questions, but they're always talking about how to get to the idea a little stronger. Then you have the person who's already talking about next level. You haven't even rolled out idea number 1, and they're on like version 10 of that same idea. So you have to be aware of the type of information that you're going to get in when you have an idea. Okay, but forget about all that. Well, don't forget about it, but use it. But you have this idea. Now, how do you get people actually to get on board with your idea? This is what usually happens. You've gone through all the pain of the idea. Now you want to share this idea with your team, and you go out there, and what you deliver is the results, the breakthrough. You're like, yes, this is the breakthrough of this idea. This is what I finally got to, and I'm here to share it with you guys. And then they hate it. That's because you forgot to do something very, very critical. You forgot to sell your team your idea. I literally do mean sell them the idea. In other words, and I just heard this morning and I loved it. Don't just show up and throw up. I have this great idea and boom, now I'm going to give it to you. No. Steve Jobs was amazing at this. He would stand on stage and he would talk about everything that was missing in the world today. He would talk about all those frustrations. He would talk about all the problems that people had. Michael put the best way to head off objections is to address them before they are said. Absolutely. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to identify the frustrations that the people who you're trying to get to buy into your idea, identify the frustrations. In other words, identify why there is even a market for this idea in the first place, even if you're doing this with your own team. Then once you've identified the frustrations that if you need your team to buy in on, you have to identify the frustrations that they're feeling. You have to drive those frustrations into fear. So let me give you an example. If you have a team full of people who are doing sales and they don't like to go lead hunting, then what you have to do is you have to talk to them about what happens if they don't lead hunt. What if they were judged by the number of leads that they bring in? What if they didn't get new leads falling into their lap? What are they going to do if the lead funnel dries up? Because they're not hunting for leads. They're not hunters. So they're not hunting for leads. They're not going out and looking for leads. They don't feel like they have time for that. So there is that frustration. So now what's the fear that goes beyond that? You're not going to have enough in your funnel to actually do business. And even worse, you're going to have to go out there and be the lead hunter. Is that what you really want to do? Do you want to take your time away from doing what you do best, which is closing deals? And do you want to spend time hunting for leads? Is that where you want to really spend your time? So now you're getting into that fear of, oh my God, I'm going to have to be a good lead hunter and I'm going to have to sit at my desk and make phone calls all day and I'm going to have to stop doing what I do best, which is close deals and go and look for leads. And I don't want to do that. You kind of build up that anxiety of what they don't want to do. Then you take them to the next level. So the next level is turning their fears into desires. Hey, what if you could get leads dropped into your inbox every Monday? And not just leads, well-qualified leads. I mean, these things have been scrubbed and oiled and they are ready to go. These are great leads. What if you got that in your box every Monday? People who want your product. And you don't have to go look for them. You don't have to go look for them. They're going to come to you. Is this something that you'd be interested in? Right? So now you've kind of built that, oh my God, I have this anxiety, but now there's this whole imagined fantasy of what if you could get that. The reason that what if you could get that works so powerfully well is people actually start seeing themselves in the situation of having that thing that they didn't think was even possible for them to have. We've taken them from this anxiety of not being able to have it to this possibility of not only having it, but having it delivered to them on a silver platter on a regular basis. And then taking it a little further and start talking about, how much time it would save them, how much money they would make, how they'd be the superstar salesperson, how they're going to annihilate the competition, how they're going to be at the top of the leaderboard. You're creating the future in their mind. You're painting that picture for them so that way they really, really want it. Then you ask them the question that most people forget to ask. From a financial standpoint, what would that be worth to you? If I dropped 5 hot leads in your inbox every Monday, so for 52 weeks, you get 5 hot leads. For 52 weeks, you get 260 hot leads. Or hell, even if it was 1, right? But still, how many, and you have a 30% close rate, how much would that be worth to you? Now you're putting real numbers in their head. And then you can drop the price. So what if it was going to cost you a 0.5 percentage point of all your commission? Would it be worth it to you? I mean, you're not hunting for them. You're getting these hot qualified leads in your inbox. And it's not even going to cost you a 0.5 percentage point. You interested? All of a sudden you start getting people that are going, well, yeah. See, you've already built up how much would you be willing to pay? How much would that be? How much would that be worth it to you? And now you bring it all the way back down to, and it ain't even that much. This is the whole idea of persuasion. Put the numbers in the thief's head. Exactly. This is that whole, you guys know I always talk about Holy Mother of Negotiation. That's one of my keynotes. Holy Mother of Negotiation literally talks about, when we talk about getting people to buy in to that big idea, the one thing we do is we go through this. We take them through their frustrations, their fears, their desires, and then we quantify what that breakthrough would be worth, and then we give them the breakthrough for less than what they would have paid for it. When you do this, you get people who go from arguing with you, I mean, literally arguing with you about, this is going to cost me money, blah, 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 to, oh, yeah, so where do I sign up? How can I get in? And if you want to do it even better, make it scarce. Make it so that everyone can't get in, but only a few people can get in. Make it so that only maybe 10 people can get in out of 20 or out of 50. Make it a rollout basis so only a few people get it, and now the rest of them have to wait for it. That kind of scarcity gets other people chomping at the bit. Well, how can I get in? And it amps up that level of excitement that you can get for your idea. So I want you to think about that when you have to deliver that next big idea, whether you're rolling it out to your team or whether you're rolling it out to investors, or whether you're just sharing it with the world. How you do it a bit at a time, and then make sure not only do you build up that, again, I love that saying that Mike put there, which was put the numbers in the thief's head, right? Make sure that they have a number that they're like, ooh, I really want that. It's way more valuable to me than what I'm going to have to pay for it. And then amp up that excitement by adding a little scarcity. That is how you really get people to buy into that next big idea without it, costing you your big idea. Because there's nothing worse than going to the table with something that you've worked on and you feel fantastic about, and everyone else isn't on board. Most of the time, the reason they're not on board is that you've had time to go through all of the emotions of getting to that idea. You've had time to go through the frustration, the fear, the desire, and the breakthrough. They haven't had time to do that. So when selling your idea, you have to take them through those emotions so they'll be as excited as you are. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this. And when you really need people to buy in on your idea and really want them to give you money for that thing you're selling, just follow that 4-step process and you will definitely get there. It works every time. It really, it works like 78% of the time, but that's plenty. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm off to Orlando, sounds right, and then Chicago, and I don't remember where after that, but and then I think New York. Anyway, that's what my schedule looks like coming up in the next few weeks. And yes, don't throw up and show up. Talk to you guys later. Have a great one.